Minions have spawned. An ally has been slain. An enemy has left the game. Deicide. Smite!
Hello, ladies, germs, and people of all ages. Welcome yet again to another rant show. I do want to take one quick moment to apologize for a rant show not coming out last month. As I've explained in other posts and other videos, shall I say, in the past, last month, being September, was a really busy month for me. I was in the process of getting another job. A lot of drama was going on, which I'm not going to get into, but that is the reason several of my past videos have been late and why there was no rant show last month. So I do want to go ahead and upfront apologize for that. I promise I will not try to make a habit of it, and for most of my videos to now start coming out on time. But now with that being said, I would like to actually get into what I want to talk about in this episode of the rant show. What I actually do want to talk about is, I'm not going to, rant about anime, I'm not going to rant about politics this time, or about any of that stuff. Actually this time I want to rant about how I think with all of the comic movies coming out now, one that they should have already came out with, or should at least be in the process of making now. That, of course, would be a movie about my favorite of all time DC comic character, Nightwing. Yes, Dick Grayson, or Richard Grayson, whatever you'd like to call him. Now, with all the buzz of, this new Batman vs Superman movie coming out, and with all the other movies coming out, the only time that they've ever made any reference to Dick Grayson was in the last Batman movie, and that was it. They need to change that. Okay, here's the thing, okay, I don't want a movie showing him starting out as Robin, okay? I don't want that, showing him like a brief clip of him with Batman, whoever they might get to play him whenever this movie comes out, if it ever does. I don't want it to, show him back a clip of him, of the movie about him becoming Robin. I don't want that. I want the movie to straight be into him being Nightwing. I mean, the movie itself could go into, the beginning of the movie could be like this. It could be, he could be laying in bed, and having a nightmare of what's happened to him in the past, aka his family dying while they were in the circus, and all that, and then, flash forward to him being adopted by Bruce Wayne, and then all that, and then, him snapping out of that dream and waking up in his room. Something like that would be acceptable. I'm just saying, I would like the movie to go straight into him being Nightwing, not the whole process of him first becoming Robin and then becoming Nightwing. No, don't do that. Here's the thing. If they ever did, and I hope they do, if they ever did the Nightwing movie, here is just some of the details I would love to see happen. So if anyone from DC, ever does actually see this, please take my advice. Please, stick to Nightwing, stick to Dick Grayson's storyline. All right, don't have him saying his backstory was. So don't have his backstory completely different than the comics. Have it mentioned at least somewhere in the movie about him being in the circus, about his family dying because a stupid circus leader was in debt to the boss, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do. So the boss of the mob, or whoever he was, sabotaged the circus event, and Dick Grayson's parents fell to their death. Have it like that. Have it at least mentioned that happened. Don't have some crazy backstory about how he was like some thug from the hood, or you know, his parents were rich but then they died. No, don't just keep it to the original storyline, and please have it mentioned somewhere in the movie itself. Okay? Now that I've actually said that, also keep... Some of the comic movies out there have actually done, you know, I think a half decent job of doing it, but at least keeping some of the facts true to the actual comics themselves, including some of the storylines that happen in comics they actually put, inside the movie. I would like to see them do that with the Nightwing movies. Like, take certain parts out of the Nightwing comic series itself and put that in the movie. I mean, they don't have to completely, for script, word from word, follow a comic, but, at least follow the comics as best as you can. You'd probably make a lot more people happier that way, including moi. So please, if you ever do come out with a Nightwing movie, keep as close to the comics, like what happened with his parents, and what happens with him in certain spots in the comic series itself, actually, might have that happen, in the movie, or at least have it mentioned something to that effect. Now, as to, people who should, play certain characters in the movies, I've actually thought about this and debated it amongst myself and a few other comic people I know about who we would personally like to see, direct the movie, play Dick Grayson, play some of the people that might show up in the movie, so on and so forth. First off, let's start with who I think personally should direct it. Now, I personally would like to see Peter Jackson direct it, but if you recall in several interviews he's had in the past with people who've interviewed him, like E and all that, he said, when the question was brought up if he would ever do a comic movie, he said he would. He said he does not want to. For whatever reason, I forget what the reasons he gave were, he doesn't want to. I would like to see him direct it, but, he said he doesn't want to. Granted, he said he wasn't going to direct the Hobbit movies after the Lord of the Rings movies came out, but they winded up getting him to do that anyway. So, is there a possibility that they could get him to winding up doing a comic movie too? It's possible, but I'm going to go on with the suspicion that he's not going to. So, I have a second director in mind. And that, of course, would be, some of you might be surprised by this, or saying, why would you think so? But just hear me out. Clint Eastwood. Some of you would, of course, know him from his old Western movies and some of the recent movies he's directed, like American Sniper. And there's a reason why I say Clint Eastwood, and that is because he is known for his grittiness in the movies, showing the action, showing that grit, that, the up-close and personal feeling of, when a person gets shot, or, when something I can't put into words, you'd have to watch his movies to know what I'm talking about. Just, the feel, and the grit, and the action, and the blood, and everything else that he puts into his movies is freaking amazing. And let's face it, the Nightwing comics themselves were pretty gruesome comics. You see people dying, you see people's bones getting broken. It is especially some of the comics in the Nightwing series are seriously bloody. And that's why I think Clint Eastwood would be perfect for that role of directing the movie. Because he would know how to put that grit, how to put that feel from the comic into the movie itself. With that being said though, like the Deadpool movie that is coming out that is rated R, because of who Deadpool is, I feel the Nightwing movie itself should be rated R, because there's, like I said, a lot of grit, a lot of blood, a lot of action, a lot of swearing, a lot of everything in the Nightwing comic series itself. So to actually do the movie justice and to portray Nightwing like he is, I feel like the movie itself, if they ever make one, should be rated R. I know there are some kids out there and young fanboys of Nightwing itself, but Nightwing character 95% of the time is dark. Like I'm not talking like dark like he's a villain dark and goes on murder rampages. Like just his character and the comics himself 95% of the time are dark, and I think the movie should portray that. That's why I say it should be rated R first of all, and why I think Clint Eastwood would be perfect to direct the movie. Now I know I'm saying he's getting up there in age, so the movie would have to happen soon. You know, God forbid one day he dies. But like I said, I'm going on the word of Peter Jackson. Like I said, I would like to see Peter Jackson do the movie, but I'm going off the word that he doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to say, you know, he's not in the equation anymore. So I would like to see Clint Eastwood do it. Now, with that being said, I have two thoughts in mind of who I think should actually play Nightwing. That, of course, being I narrowed it down to two people. Now, I know some of you might look at me weird for one of them, but just, like I said, with the director, just hear me out. One of them being, of course, one of my favorite actors next to Vin Diesel, being Jake Gyllenhaal. Sorry, dude, if I pronounce your last name wrong. But Jake Gyllenhaal, some of you might remember him from Prince of Persia, which I thought was phenomenal, and several other movies. I think he would fit the bill. Like, he could pull off that character right. Like I said, I think he could pull off, you know, the Nightwing, Dick Grayson's attitude, you know, like his personal thoughts, just the way he was in the comics. I think Jake Gyllenhaal could pull it off. Besides him, if they, for whatever reason, they couldn't get him to do it, I think another person that would fit the bill for Nightwing, aka Dick Grayson, would be Daniel Radcliffe. Now, I know he's thinking, what, you know, Harry Potter, seriously, but just hear me out, okay? He's a good actor. I'm looking forward to, you know, this dang Dr. Frankenstein movie that's coming out here soon. That's supposed to have him and, crap, let me see if I can't remember the guy's name. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. But if you have not seen the trailer for the movie coming out, look up the teaser trailer on YouTube for, I believe the movie's called Dr. Frankenstein, or just called Frankenstein, one of the two. But it looks super rad. I'm going to go see it. And in the movie itself, Daniel Radcliffe actually plays Igor. Like I said, check out the trailer. It looks sick, and I am actually going to go see it. But like I said, I personally think Daniel Radcliffe is an awesome actor. And I think, like Jake Gyllenhaal, he could pull off the character. You know, you might have to make him actually a little, you know, physically more built to, you know, fit the, you know, the physical form of Nightwing. But I think he could pull it off. I seriously do. I'm like, okay, I'm going to say this, and no offense to Daniel Radcliffe if you see this, by some miracle, which ain't you do. I've watched the Harry Potter movies. I wasn't too much a fan. They were alright. But these other movies, I freaking loved. I honestly did. And I like I said, I just think, honestly, he could fit the bill of Nightwing. Now that I said who I'd like to fill out as the, you know, possible people who could play Nightwing, let's get on to a few other actual people that I could think could fill out the roles. Okay. Now, while I don't have a clear idea or vision who I would like to see be the villain, there are a few people I would like to see. I'm not going to say they have to be in 95% of the movie, but I would like to see them make an appearance in the movie. And the people I would like to see make an appearance are actually some of the original Titans, the group he was once part of. Like I said, some of the original, because throughout the comic history there has been several members of Titans. I'm talking about some of the originals. And there are three in particular I would like to see in the movie, and possibly play a major role, you know, just not have like a 5-second scene in the movie. Three of them, the three I'm thinking about, of course, is 1. Starfire, 2. Beast Boy, and 3. Cyborg. Now, you might be wondering, well, who could possibly play at least 2 of those 3 characters? Well, like, I have my own opinion on who I think should play Nightwing. I have my own thoughts and theories, and a few other people agree with me on who I think would fit the bill for these roles. First off, let's start with Starfire. Now, as some of you might I've already noticed from my past Rant shows, I ship Nightwing and Starfire, aka Corey Anders and Dick Grayson, hardcore. I just think, you know, if the comics actually kept it together, that, you know, they can make an awesome storyline as a relationship in the comics, but I'm getting sidetracked, sorry. But I would like to see her appear in the movie, and hopefully, you know, unlike what the comics did at one point in the movie, you know, actually hook up with Grayson, but that's a wholly different story. Okay, sorry. This is about to go on a whole nother rant. Here is who I'd actually like to, you know, actually possibly, you know, play Starfire. One being Olivia Wilde. I thought, especially in Tron Legacy, she played, you know, a really good role in that movie. Sadly though, I had a hard time figuring out who could actually play Starfire. Not only because she was in physical form, but acting too. And the only movie I could honestly remember Olivia Wilde from was Tron Legacy, but from that one movie, it convinced me that I think she could honestly pull it off. I'm pretty sure I've seen her in other movies. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But I do remember her being in Tron Legacy, and I think she could pull it off. Not because, you know, of course, sorry, I know this might sound slightly wrong because of the body, but also because in Tron Legacy at least, I thought she was, you know, was good at her job at acting. If not her though, I had one other person in mind. Some of you might know who she is, several of you might not. Is Bai Ling. You've heard me mention her in one of my past videos when I was talking about Eight-Legged Freaks. I think she could once again probably, you know, pull off this role too. Like I said, she had an awesome performance in the movie The Key, and there are she's been in several other movies, guys. Check her out if there any of them are on Netflix or any Hulu or whatever, guys. Just look her up on Wikipedia, check out the movies she's been in, and check her out. She is a phenomenal actress. I am hoping I actually get to meet her at a con here soon because she's been at a few. But she's a phenomenal actor, and once again, I think she could pull off this role not only because of her body, but because of her acting as well. I think she could honestly pull this off. And then there's, of course, Cyborg. Now, I can't really, you know, for the life of me, at least at the moment, think of, or when I've contemplated this, thought of a lot of black actors besides some of the ones that are getting old now, like Wesley Snipes and a few others. So it was kind of hard to figure out who I think could fit the role of Cyborg, and only 2 people came to mind. One being Michael B. Jordan. Some of you might remember him from the completely horrible new Fantastic Four movie that they rebooted. If you haven't seen it, please do not watch it. They did such a bad job. From the scripting, the acting, to frigging everything. Do not even bother. The old Fantastic Four movies, even though at least in Fantastic Four 2, some of the acting was bad and a little bit of the script, but even those movies were better than the Fantastic Four reboot. That movie was horrible. Trust me, for those of you who have seen it, you already know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who have not seen it yet and thought about seeing it, don't. But, yeah. Michael B. Jordan was actually the person who played the Human Torch in that movie. Even though, like I said, the acting in the movie itself was bad, I figure, you know, at least... See, okay, his acting was bad, but he was the less worst, if that makes any sense, out of all of them. I figure at least if he can improve his acting a bit and buff up a bit more, he could honestly be he could convincingly pull off Cyborg. If not him though, that could actually pull off Cyborg. And now, even though he hasn't had, at least to the best of my knowledge, had any major roles in movies, he's had a few walk-on roles, but he is actually a cosplayer, yes, a cosplayer I really admire, and who actually pulled off a Cyborg cosplay not too while ago. That was seriously badass. Sorry, I'm not bleeding now. But Nightmage, dude, if you watch this, your Cyborg, please wear it again next time I go to a con rack, because I'll probably freak the frick out. But, I honestly think, like I said, he's only had a few walk-on roles in movies, nothing really major to the best of my knowledge, but I think the cosplayer known as Nightmage could probably, definitely, most likely pull it off. Not only because of the way he looked in his Cyborg cosplay himself, but he has the build for it, and I'm pretty sure, he has the acting to do if given the chance. Now for who I think should play Beast Boy. The only person I really think could honestly play Beast Boy is see, I don't want to be rude to all the other actors out there, but there's only one person, and one person only I honestly think could honestly pull off Beast Boy, not only because I think he has the physique for it, but his acting is really freaking good if you've seen him in any of his movies. And that would be Josh Peck. Yes, the guy from Drake and Josh. I honestly think the dude could pull it off. I know some of you might be thinking, yeah, I don't know about that, but I think he could. Watch the movies he's been in. Not only, I'm not talking about the ones that just went to theaters. I'm talking about the ones that were just DVDs and all that are too. The guy's acting is phenomenal, and I think he could pull it off given the chance. Like I said though, he's like the only person I can really think of that could pull it off, that I think honestly could. Besides Beast Boy, I guess it'd be cool if, not cool, but if you don't try and cram too much people into one movie at once, especially if it's not 3 hours or more. I mean, I'd be alright if they, threw a few more people from comics in the movie itself, but you can't pull a Spider-Man 3. That was the one major thing that, they did wrong with that movie. They tried to fit too many people into a 2-hour movie. And I'd hate to see them do that with the Nightwing movie if they ever did it. So, if guys did ever do it, and you ever do watch this video by some miracle of a chance, at least, take my advice. Of course, have Nightwing in the movie, and then at least, like I personally and a few others I talked to would like to see some of the original Titans make an appearance, but keep those three I mentioned and don't try to cram a whole bunch of superheroes into one movie, especially if it's not going to be over 3 hours. But yeah, that's who I would like to actually, play and direct the movie. Like I said, I really can't think of a villain at the moment that would be good for the Nightwing movie itself. See, I'm trying to think of one now. Yeah, I can't really think of one off the top of my head. But, if you can think of any that you would like to, if anyways that agree with me that a Nightwing movie should come out, and the way I said should be done, if you could think of any, good villains you'd like to see in the movie, just, comment below. And maybe, DC will somehow find this video and, take our advice. But, that's actually all I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I just wanted to, rant a bit about how I think they need to come out with all the other comic movies coming out, how I think they should make a Nightwing movie because, believe it or not, DC, the Nightwing fan base is still really huge, even though all the crap and BS you're doing with Dick Grayson at the moment, that does not make a whole lot of sense, and I don't think you should be doing. But that's a whole nother rant. But their Nightwing fan base is still huge, and you should make some buku bucks off of this if you get it right. And I just wanted to give my 5 cents at who I think should direct it and who I think should actually play roles in the movie. But that's actually about it. Anyways, all I wanted to rant about. Now, I did want to actually mention one more thing before I ended this, and that is actually I wanted to give a quick shout out to a restaurant that actually I go to a lot. Wasabii, Japanese, and Chinese, Wasabii, an actual, Chinese and Japanese restaurant that is near where I live, is a phenomenal restaurant. I will leave a link to their Facebook, because every restaurant has a Facebook now. I'll leave a link to their Facebook and to their actual website below. Guys, if any of you live in the PA area, more specifically in the Greensburg, Westmoreland County area, please visit Wasabii, Chinese and Japanese restaurant. These guys are phenomenal. Their food is fantastic. The atmosphere of the restaurant alone will knock you off your socks. This restaurant, like I said, is fantastic. The restaurant itself is called Wasabii. If you live in the area, in the Greensburg, Westmoreland County area, in PA, and you have no idea where this restaurant is at, Google it. I'm sure you can find it. Like I said, I'll leave a link to their Facebook and to their actual website below. But guys, check these guys out. They are on Route 30 in Greensburg, if that helps at all. But seriously, guys, check them out. I just want to give a quick shout out to them real quick because their food is really fantastic. And anytime I go past that place, the parking lot is too empty for my liking. I think they should be getting a lot more business than they should. So hopefully this helps. Because guys, your food is awesome, your restaurant is awesome, and if any of you, like I said, live in the Westmoreland County, PA area, please check this place out, especially if you're a fan of Japanese and Chinese food. Alright? Well, that's all I wanted to talk about this episode of The Rant Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and all the ones I do watch so far, and I hope you enjoyed my channel in general. But that's actually all I wanted to talk about. Once again, I want to quickly apologize for last month's Rant Show not coming out. But guys, that is it. That is all. I am out of here. This is the sexy man himself, and the 7X Karu, signing out. Peace, love, and chicken grease. And as always, peace.